Hey, hey, hey! It's the Pacific Northwest Geek here. Echoes Hero here. Cha, cha, roar, 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 cha. Anyways, I'm here to try this Kaiju Theater. And I'm going to be looking at the 1984 movie, The Return of Godzilla. Or as it's also known in America, Godzilla 1984. Although I'm going to be looking at more of it as the Return of Godzilla cut. Now this movie goes as if all the movies after the original 54 didn't happen. The Showa era, if I'm pronouncing that right, didn't happen. So this is basically a sequel slash reboot. And it goes that a vessel is attacked, a sea vessel, like as a fishing vessel or whatever, is attacked by some large creatures, and everybody but one person is killed. And apparently there's a strange sighting. The ship is found, the sole survivor is found, so are the creatures, or at least one of them is killed. And after trying to talk to the survivor and looking at pictures of, he discovers what he saw, that strange thing he saw, was in fact Godzilla, who after 30 years has returned and has been carrying out attacks. He seems to be focusing on nuclear locations. Like he targets a nuclear plant and pulls out a reactor and absorbs all the radioactivity. Before some birds basically catches attention, and he follows the birds. You know, ah 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 ah, rrr, 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 follow birds, follow birds, follow birds. Anyways, when this realizes is going about him back, a scientist is well, I guess he was a survivor of the attack in 54, and they start to study the birds, how they can use the birds or the sound of the birds to catch Godzilla's attention. However, Godzilla soon attacks, destroying the city. At the same time, they're talking to the Americans and the Russians, and the Russians want to nuke it. I think the Americans want to do it too, but they're able to talk the Americans out of it. The Russians aren't so much, you know. We are introduced to Super X, I believe it's what it's called. It's a small vessel, flying vessel. It's really, if you watch some of the movies like in the late 80s and the 90s, you might remember the Super X, because this is the first appearance, I believe, of the Super X, which surprisingly I don't think it's on the cover, but it might be. Anyways, it's able to actually subdue Godzilla, simply put a stop to him. However, during the attack, it turns out there's a ship in the bay that's a Russian ship that actually has controls for the fire of nuclear missiles. And during the attack, it's activated and fires a nuclear missile. The Americans are contacted as they're the only ones who can take it out. All the Americans do. However, it rains radioactivity on the area where Godzilla is, reviving him, allowing him to defeat the Super X. And luckily, they are able to use the birds to pull him away, where they take him to a volcano and get him to fall into a volcano. I think they use explosives, and he falls into a volcano. Now, you see it's got the second title, Godzilla 84. In America, that's how it was released. And much like they did with the 54 one, because in 54, 58 was it? They redubbed it and shot new scenes, then including Raymond Burr. And he comes back, has Steve Martin for this movie. And we get to see the command where he's living with his grandkid or whatever, and a command center, and he gives a speech and stuff. That's how I primarily knew it until I saw this cut of it, because I thought I was getting that cut. It's still pretty cool. It's the Godzilla look for this. It's pretty awesome. They gave him a little animation when he roars, his upper lip would move. The bird thing I don't really know about. I thought that was kind of, so all you gotta do is play bird sound effects and he'll follow them. Ooh, go destroy the city. Ah, ah, ah. Oh, go follow the bird. Go follow the bird. There's a transit guy who decides he's gonna go eat at a fancy restaurant because everybody is evacuated the city, but not him. So he's gonna go eat at a fancy restaurant. He apparently has a showdown with Godzilla, which the effect of him running, they superimpose him over Godzilla running towards him. It's not so good. There seems to be a little love plot in here, kind of like there was in the original. Super X I thought was super cool. It's so much smaller in this than it was. Like they made it bigger, and I can't remember the last time a version of the Super X appeared. If you can recall the last time, because this is the first appearance of the Super X, but if you can recall the last time the Super X appeared, please leave it in the comments, because I really am too lazy right now to look it up. I really enjoyed this movie, and because the last Godzilla movie they made was probably about 10 years earlier, 9 to 10 years earlier. Remember which one it was. So this started a new era. This was followed by Godzilla vs. Biolente, and then a whole bunch of others, and would go until some point in the 90s, and then we got the 98 Godzilla, American Godzilla, and then that revived it again with Godzilla 2000, and that went till 2004, until we got the next American Godzilla, which then got us some more stuff in Japan, Shin Godzilla, and the CGI trilogy. And I really did like Shin Godzilla, but this is another one I like. If you haven't seen this, you should really check it out. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere, so I'll have to look. If I find it, I'll put it in the description. It's a fun watch, so go ahead and check it out. And I think they actually put the hobo guy, the transit guy, on the cover. I'm not sure, but it's a fun watch. I really enjoyed it. Anyways, I have got to go. I have got to go edit this and do a thumbnail. So anyways, I am the Pacific Northwest Geek Echo Zero, and I will see you on the flip side. Toodaloo.